If you're a student, this video is for you, especially university students. Listen and listen attentively. You see these bathroom slippers? This one. Don't wear it for lectures. Stop wearing them for lectures. Never wear them for lectures. You see this mini skirt, the girls? Don't wear this for lectures. And the interesting part is that some of you girls would deliberately wear this mini skirt for lectures. You come and sit in. The university certificate is just a paper. The university certificate is just a paper. See how we are stressing ourselves just for a paper at the end of the day. It is just a paper. Print one out. When you are done printing, go and use that paper you have printed out to apply for a job. Use that paper you have printed out to apply for masters. We are tired of you guys. If indeed your certificate is by now, go and see. There's a certain girl busily cooking for her boyfriend and his friends, and they are hailing her, hey, our wife, our wife, our wife. And she too, she's excited. She's so elated. And she's doing the most. After cooking, she would scrub, she would wash. And the friends too, the boyfriend's friends to come and add his clothes. And she would wash with so much excitement.
Welcome to the Hello Africa Morning Show, and this is the lifestyle segment. My name is Jemima Delademdechi. Today I have with me an amazing guest. I'm sure you can't wait to see who she is. So I have with me Miss Eva Kupolo, and then she's a lecturer and a PhD candidate who transitioned from journalism to academia using her social media platforms, especially TikTok, to connect with students. And how does she do this? From tackling mental health issues to strict parenting to celebrating student wins, Eva's video have sparked viral moments and built a strong community over our social media platforms. Miss Eva, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Jemima.
Okay, so I mean, we've been seeing your videos. I've been seeing them a lot personally on TikTok, yes. But before we move to that side of the conversation, I would want you to briefly talk about yourself and then about the student talk with Eva, what it is about, briefly.
Yes, so like you've rightly introduced, in fact, before I even go further into it, let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers.
Okay.
So I am Eva Kumpolo. I am a lecturer at Unimac, and of course I'm the founder of Students Talk with Eva.
Yeah.
I'm also a student myself.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm currently a PhD candidate at the University of Johannesburg, South Africa.
Oh, great.
Yes, so in fact, Students Talk with Eva has always been a platform that has been very dear to me.
Okay.
Because when I started lecturing, I was one of the youngest lecturers you could find on campus.
Okay.
And I think for that reason, a lot of students resonated well with me. So usually when they have problems, you know, they would come to me with their issues. And then at a point I felt some of these issues need to be known. Some of these issues need to be heard by other people, because some of the issues were highly intriguing and some came to me as a shock, others as a surprise. So I decided to get onto social media and of course share some of these issues with the rest of the world. Yeah, so basically this is how the platform started.
I can say it's doing very well, because I watched one video that was talking about how students look, the short skirts, and yes. But before then, too, I know you did journalism in school, right? So why the shift? What compelled you to shift into academia and then, I mean, into teaching?
Right. Yes. So I'm a trained journalist, actually.
Okay.
I did my BA in Communication Studies. I specialize in journalism at JIJ.
Oh, wow.
But while in school, in fact, I practiced journalism for a while.
Okay.
While in school, as early as level 100 first semester, my parents would let me go and do internship. So I can confidently say that throughout from level 100, 200, 300 up to 400, I was still practicing journalism actively even while in school. And then when I was almost done with school, I wanted to practice journalism full time. I also wanted to work in the bank. But then fortunately, I was academically good.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of lecturers, you know,
pushing you.
Yes, coming to me and then asking that I be their teaching assistant, you know, whilst preparing for national service, level 400. To be honest, teaching or academia was not part of the initial plan.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but when the calls for being a TA started, I just decided to give it a try, and so that is how academia came along the way.
Okay, so far it's been good, I guess.
Yes, so far it's been very good. It's
Okay.
been very good. And, yeah.
Okay, now coming to the student talk with Eva, I'm sure there was a starting point. I'm sure there was something that triggered you to go down that tangent.
Yes.
So we want to talk about what compelled you to, I mean, put out a first video and then even forming the student talk with Eva. What compelled you to that first video, that first screenshot? Yeah.
Yes, so in fact, the whole student talk with Eva advocacy platform started in 2020 when COVID broke out.
Yes.
Yes, I only popped up on TikTok about 2 years ago.
Oh,
on the
okay.
25th of July this year, I'll be exactly 2 years on TikTok. That was when my first ever video went out on TikTok.
You have a celebration.
Yes, I have. So when I started the platform, it was in 2020. Like I said earlier, by then a lot of students were coming to me with issues. But remember when COVID broke out, we had to migrate online for our teaching and learning activities. And then I was still getting the issues. And then I told myself, now that everything is virtually online, why not put these issues out there? So in 2020, same July, I decided to create a platform on Facebook first. And then I created another on Instagram and on Twitter, now X.
Okay.
Initially, in fact, when I started for the first 3 years, from 2020 to 2023, I wasn't even doing videos. It was strictly screenshots of messages that students sent to me. So when you check my page and you go down below, it was more of a boring page to watch because it was basically screenshots. I wanted people to know that what I share are real issues. And then later, my followers and some students started asking, Miss Eva, why wouldn't you do a video to talk about some of the things? Because sometimes when I'm speaking on the issues, I do a very long post in addition to the screenshots. Then people
won't read all that.
Exactly. People were asking that why not rather translate the text into video? It would resonate well with people. So I just started, doing the videos bit by bit. And then in addition to the screenshots, I still post, I do the videos. And this time the videos, I don't just focus on the message you send to me. Because I'm in the classroom, because I'm teaching, the issues come to me. And of course, I observe things around. Sometimes I pick on trendy stories in relation to students. And then that's it. So if I'm to go directly into your question, for TikTok, that one video that put me out there, and then people started drawing their attention to me. I think after joining TikTok on 25th July, I went viral in the same month of July. I just did a video by the students on vacation. So all I said was that if you're a student, don't be home and lazy about. Do something useful with your life. Do an internship, volunteer. Even if you're home, help your parents. And it just went viral. I was even shocked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about some, should I say, testimonies that have come out from what you were doing. How are students relating to you in terms of what you are doing? Are there some positive feedbacks that you've gotten so far?
Yes, a lot of them, Jemima. The feedback is a lot. It is heartwarming. And it is just pleasing to know that people are watching what I'm doing, not just even students, but parents. I have parents recommending my platform to their children. I have students who send me messages and say, Madam, I just started following because my father sent me your video. My mother asked me to follow you. The messages are a lot. Sometimes I post some on my page. Sometimes I get a lot of messages. I usually share study tips as well. So I have students telling me, Madam, I adopted XYZ strategies of yours. And then I've seen some progress. In relation to my dressing, I have changed because you keep saying we shouldn't wear this. And that's what I'll be wearing. I went to shop. Some will even send me photos of their new wardrobe, their outlook. I had a student who sent me more of her dress code for the week. From Monday to Friday, asked me to analyze whether it is apt. And when she's going to class, for the first week, she'll take photos and send to me just to be sure that she's right on track. And many others.
Okay, so I mean, in your work so far, seeing that you relate well with the student environment, how do you think, how do you think students handle pressure? I mean, university students, I'm sure you liaise with those categories.
Yes.
So how do you think their relation to pressure is?
Yes, in fact, my core targets are university students. However, With time, the senior high school students have told me that they
coming
don't
in.
want to be left out. So now I always ensure that I include them. Yes, and in relation to pressures, as for the pressures, they are going through a lot. Some are going through pressures in relation to their academic work. They don't even know how to study to get things right. They don't even know how to answer examination questions. And of course, you know, Jemima, issues of relationships
Exactly. You
here
can't
and
figure
there. Exactly. Some have challenges with their relationships. Pressures come from those areas as well. Remember, some students are also married, both
Yeah,
male and
that's
female,
true.
and they experience pressures from there. Some students are also workers, so they also experience pressures from
Yeah.
there. So with time, I just try to ensure that whatever content that I churn out tackles all
All
of
these
these
issues.
issues. Yes, and then some of them are not able to handle these pressures well. Now, let me speak about some of the students in the senior high school and the university. Some tend to substances,
Yeah.
some tend to drugs, some even alcohol, just to be
Relief.
okay, yeah, be relieved of the situation. Later, they realize that it doesn't work. Some I advise them to use the counseling units in their universities or their schools, but they'll come back to me telling me that it didn't go well. You know. So one strategy I am using that is working is relatability. So when you watch my videos, even though I'm a lecturer, I try to
Calm
meet them on
down.
their level.
Yeah.
So I try to use the simplest language as much as possible. I try to have that vibe. When you are highly relatable to them, they'll come to you with their problems.
That's true.
And so that is my style, and so far it's been working well.
Okay, but then I think you made mention of the fact that you advise students to use their counseling sections.
Yeah.
So I don't know if GIJ has a counseling section, but then let's talk about, I mean, the students,
Yeah.
and then the things they go through, and then the role of the university in trying to meet these issues halfway for the
Yeah.
students.
Yes, yes. Well, with respect to GIJ, which you mentioned, yes, currently the university has
Okay.
a counseling unit. I think it's even been around for a while now.
while now.
Yes, and I know that the universities in Ghana too have counseling units. But now here is the problem. Interestingly, most of our students do not like to patronize or utilize the counseling departments in the university. Some give me all sorts of funny reasons, and others don't just want to go there.
Yeah.
So sometimes they just want to speak to, if you want, that neutral figure who may not even judge them. I've had a student from one of the universities tell me that anytime she goes to the counseling unit, the counselor, her university's counselor, has this strict and stern face. She doesn't smile. So once she enters, her heart begins to beat, and the real issue that brought her there, she'll just switch up because she feels the woman will just end up, maybe judging her. And I've had another student tell me that she's visited her university's counselor, and then the woman was virtually on her throat, more of being judgmental rather. And that came to me as a surprise because they should know better.
Exactly.
Now, the truth is that usually when they come with their issues, as for the Gen Zs, I'm always on them. When they come and you don't go down to their level and really understand issues and find a strategic way of handling the issues, and you want to be so firm and strict, trust me, they will
work.
not come back here. So this is a special call to the counseling units in our universities and in our schools in general. Please, when the students come around, kindly make it easy
calm down for them. Okay, so now I want to be a bit personal. I'm sure I know you have kids.
Yeah,
yes,
I do.
And then the fact that you relate more with, let me say, the Gen Zs and kids, children as well. How does this go a long way in affecting your personal relationship with your kids?
In fact, to a very large extent, it is helping me positively.
Okay.
You know how? Because initially, I realized that I was even a bit strict with my parenting style to my children. Of course, my children are not in the university; they are very young. Yes, but when these students come to me with issues, and then I decide to use a very strategic approach. By being calm and relaxed to them, I realize it works. So now on my own kids, I use that particular. Yes, and it works. It works. Sometimes as parents, because of the kind of environment that most of us grew up in, we feel that the solution to some problems is by shouting, is by screaming.
Beating.
Sometimes in some homes is by beating or caning. But to be honest, the kind of children we are giving birth to now, and the kind of children and students we have in our universities now, if you look at the generation that some find themselves, the Gen Z,
different.
Now we have Gen Alpha, Gen Beta. If you want to shout at them, their friends will welcome them. Their friends will introduce them to all sorts of things, and it's not going to be easy for you as a parent.
Okay. Yeah. So now let's talk about the long term of the initiative, the Student Talks with Eva. What's the long term goal?
The dream is big. In my mind, the dream is huge. When I even think about what I want to use my platform for, it scares me. Now, you know, beyond the advocacy I do,
yes,
I sometimes raise funds to pay fees for students.
Oh, wow.
I sometimes provide accommodation for students just by going online and saying that this student needs help with. Sometimes I have students who would even message or come and comment, Madam, I'm in one in a room in my hostel. The student can come and perch with me for a while. I provide internships,
opportunities,
national service, job opportunities. I have organizations that will get in touch with me and say, Miss Eva, get us 5 volunteers. We are doing this and this.
Great.
So I do all of these. So beyond what I'm doing now, the dream is to establish a foundation where I can, you know, support brilliant but needy students. Especially my focus is on the girls as well. Yes, and I also intend to, one of the things that is dear to my heart, I don't want to throw my journalism training away. So with time, I want to have a student stock show. So the name of my page, Student Talk with Eva, it's the name of
the show
I am dreaming about to be out on television at the right time. Hopefully that works. I'm going to have my audience as students discuss everything student related. So yes, this is the dream for now.
Okay. What are some of the, I mean, not all the issues that come to you are, I mean, fun, and, you know, I'm sure some people are really going through a lot, like you said. So what are some of these sorrowful issues that come to you, and how have you been able to deal with? I'm sure students can call you or maybe text you, and the words that are coming out, you could see that the student is really going through something. How do you really come through for these people?
Yes. Now let me talk about the issues, and then I talk about how I come through for them. A lot of issues are running through my mind now. But let me just speak on one that happened just yesterday. A student's big sister called me. In fact, she's sent me messages for a while, and I realized the issue was dire. So I decided to ask for her contact, and then she requested for mine, and we spoke just yesterday. We spoke for over an hour.
Oh, interesting.
She tells me her brother is in one of our universities here in Ghana, and she's just discovering that he has failed about 7 or 8 courses.
Wow.
From level 200 up until now.
Oh, interesting.
And then her parents are now, and guess what? The boy is in level 400. Second semester. So she's good. How is he going to graduate? She's even arranging for him to come and do his national service. Of course, their mom is also putting plans for graduation and all. Now, guess what? According to the university's policy, this student is actually supposed to be dismissed. Because you know most of the universities have a certain mark. Once you fail in a certain number of papers, you're automatically out. Some students don't even know this. And the boy is still in the school. He's even still taking quizzes, but he can't even see his portal anymore. It only means that he's probably been out, but he's not even aware. The lady broke down on the phone yesterday.
Oh, it's emotional.
Yes, you can imagine what, And the brother says that if she gives up on him, he doesn't know what he would do. And I told her, this is the time to draw him closer to you. The boy is just 22 or 23 years old. If you abandon him at this point, because for some reason he's out of school, of course, due to his own mistakes, you know what broke her down? She said the brother is very intelligent. He was done with WASSCE with a single grade.
Wow, so what happened?
What happened? A lot goes on in the universities. Sometimes when children are in school, that's why in one video I said parents whose children are in the university should once in a while check on them. And some of the students were coming for me, hey, mother, we are not kids. And they're telling our parents, I know what I'm talking about. I am not saying every day should be visiting, they go and poke your nose. No. But once in a while, let's take for instance, your child is at the University of Ghana. You are driving to work, you pass by the University of Ghana to work. Once in a while, just pop in, because guess what? Some of your own children are not even in school. But you see, they don't know some of these issues. So yesterday I spoke to her, and then I gave her some strategies around handling the situation. Now what I do is that sometimes when the issues come to me and I feel that they are beyond me, I would recommend an expert for you. I have some counselors that I work with. I have psychologists that I work with. Now the psychologists I work with are 2 of my friends. So when I realized that someone is coming in from another university that is not close to us, where my friends, because my friends are here in Accra, where my friends who are psychologists can easily handle them. I try as much as possible to contact other psychologists in those universities, and I plead with them to do a pro bono service for me so that they can attend to the students. But guess what? Sometimes the students don't even go back.
That's true.
Yes, one other issue I would mention has to do with a student who said he was gay and was trying to
Come back.
yes, stop being one. Went to see his pastor for prayers. And it turned out the pastor himself was one, and then rather baptized him deeper into
This is a lot.
yes. And then I got him a psychologist in his university. He went for a few sessions. The psychologist never heard from him. Got in touch with me. I tried, and then guess what? I was blocked. So some students don't want to be helped. That's what I've realized on this journey so far.
Oh, interesting. this is very interesting, I would say.
Yes,
But
yeah.
I'm sure, I mean, you going online or whatever, I mean, post you put online, I'm
Yeah.
sure, I mean, negative comments, we can't rule them out. How do you deal with those?
Yes, yes. In fact, the truth is that the negative comments are just a few. That is even the ones I get to see. I'll give you an example. If, for instance, I do a video and I have 20 comments,
Yes.
out of the 20, it is just one
That
you would
is-
see being a bit negative. And I have come to form a certain vibrant community site that sometimes before I even see the comments, my people would have dealt
That was very best.
even before I see it. And the truth is that with my level of education and then also with being a trained journalist, I've come to understand there's this concept of media literacy where not everything is for everyone on social media.
Yeah,
But
that's
some
true.
people don't understand this, and then they tend to, you know, project who they are to others. So for me, negative comments don't even get to
It
me,
do- it
in
doesn't
as much
get
as
to
I
you.
barely even see them. Yeah.
Okay, now share one of the, I would want you to share one of the most trivial issues you've dealt with.
Yeah, one of the most trivial issues. A student got in touch with me saying that she was getting depressed and to some extent suicidal because all her friends had boyfriends and she didn't have. A 19-year-old,
Oh,
instead
that's
of
real.
focusing,
On your studies.
yes, she was getting depressed and suicidal. And guess what?
Depressed.
That is where we are getting to. You may see that as trivial, Jemima, but it's a big deal to her.
Wow.
Yeah.
To the extent of depression.
Yes, and it was affecting her studies because she has no boyfriend.
Interesting. I'm sure people are going through a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we are almost coming to the end of our conversation,
Right.
and I would say for now you've become more than just a lecturer.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're a voice for the young people, navigating education and then adulthood.
Right.
How do you see your role evolving in years to come?
I see my role being so huge that
Yeah.
I don't know if my eye alone
can
be able
carry
to
it.
carry it. Seriously, because it is currently it's getting overwhelming. Because remember, I have a job,
Yeah.
a full-time job for that matter, combining it with motherhood, combining it with being a wife, being a student myself,
Yeah.
and of course many other things outside these
Sure.
boxes. So as for my role, I can confidently say that so far I am making progress. Having started in 2020 with just screenshots and getting to where I am today, and even seated here today just to have this interview, it is likely to even get more tedious and stressful.
Yes, that's
But
true.
yes, all I can do is to always pray for strength to be able to do better. And then of course, because of the other experts and professionals I always get on standby, sometimes it makes things a bit easy for me.
Yeah.
When a student gets in touch with me and I realize this issue would need a therapist or a psychologist, because
Yeah.
I am not trained in that
That
field
way.
but can only offer the little I know, I quickly refer them, and of course I do follow-ups and ensure that the student is well taken care of.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, I'm really glad somebody is understanding students and really liaising with them at the very low level.
Right.
And I mean, in your introduction, you made mention you're a PhD student in South Africa.
Yes.
I would want you to touch on that service for us.
Yes, so yes, you know, when you are lecturing, there's no end to schooling.
Not at all.
Yes, so for the PhD as an academic, it's something you can't run away from. So yes, I am back to school to do my PhD so that of course I can be well grounded in my field and then even do what I'm already doing
Doing
better.
well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Miss Eva. It was very nice having you.
Thank you very much, Jemima.
Okay. So this has been the lifestyle segment on the Hello Africa Morning Show. My name is Chimai Madaladem Doche. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Stay tuned.